Hey everyone, it's Louisa Tanner Munson from Feel Good Astrology, and this is going to be a regular show that I do with my very good friend Jay Atkinson, and it's going to be called the Clarity Sessions. Now, for those of you that I can see we've got some people watching already, so welcome. Before we get going, let me just tell you a little bit about how I met Jay. So I met her back in 2011. And she was doing a show where she channeled the energies of Solomon, a collective group of beings, or like an overall voice. I'm sure when I bring her on, she might say, that's not quite right. But anyway, I actually called into her show back then, cut forward 11 years, and now we're actually going to be doing this show together. So she's kind of helping me with my own channeling journey. So anyway, let's bring Jay on now. She's known as our baby whisperer. She's whispered in my ear about all of our babies, and she was also able to talk to me about my future husband, who you may also know as Carl Munson. Anyway, let's bring Jay on now. Hey Jay, how you doing?
Oh, I'm going to dance now at this point, and say something funny.
So I can see we've already got a comment in the comment field. So we've got we've got someone who I met years and years ago called Jen White. She's saying, hello, do you think we're heading to an awakening globally? And if so, when do you feel this might happen? I think that's an absolutely excellent question. Thank you so much for that, Jen. But before we go to that, I'd like to welcome you properly to the show. So how are you this week, Jay?
Absolutely amazing. It's been for quite a lot of people a very up and down time for various reasons, and we're no different. Whatever it is that we do in our capacity as light workers or whatever you want to call us, we still have to go through stuff, don't we? We're having to deal with everyday things like kids, grandkids, people dying on us, and I've had a few bereavements this last year actually. And it does knock you for six, despite the fact that I will just say, when they do cross over, I can talk to them more clearly than I did when they were here. And you'll probably find the same thing.
I do get that sense, yeah.
Yeah, they pop back in just as quickly again, but you still have to go through the physical grieving bit. But we were just saying beforehand, if you want to just sort of, if you want to wait a little while, or if you think there are enough people here, we can just kind of clear the space. And, because I've got this new toy and it's this little thing.
Beautiful.
It's absolutely gorgeous. And it's got some, I can't work this thing out. Oh, it's that way. There we go. It's got like a, no, that way. It's got the Solomon symbol on it, funnily enough. And I only bought this thing. So it's got the 6-pointed star, which, as you know, when I used to do Solomon years ago, and yes, you did actually introduce that perfectly. It was like a collection or a collective of energy beings that used to come through. And so for the purposes of labeling it, I called it Solomon. And that, the backstory to that, which I don't need to go into now because it's not like that now. Over the years, as things evolve, we refine our process and we evolve with it and through it. And thanks to people for asking questions, because it's how we grow and how everyone grows. We're growing together as a collective. So I thought we'd just start with a little tone here so that everyone can just take a breath and get into the heart space. Just imagine you're going just into your heart and just sit in a big comfy chair there. And here we go. And this is tuned to the heart chakra, and the color of the green is the heart chakra too. So welcome to your hearts, everyone, and let's see if we can create some magic this evening between Louisa and I and all of you.
Yeah. Just thinking about it. Thank you so much for that, Jay. So I can see we've got quite a few people watching already. If you do have a question, please do write it in the chat room. I can't actually see the chat room on Facebook. So if you're watching this through Facebook, I really do urge you to go to either the Feel Good Portugal channel on YouTube or Louisa Tanner Munson on YouTube. And then if you put, your question in the chat box there, we will definitely receive it. Anyway, I can see we've got quite a few. We got loads. So I'm just it's going to be first come, first served. And I'm going to suggest we do it at some pace, actually. So the very first question then from Jen White, I'm just going to put it up because it's
no pressure.
Yes. Hello. Do you think we're heading into an awakening globally? And if so, when do you feel this might happen? Jay, what's your thought?
Oh, well, I think we're in it. We're not heading to it. We're already in it. And I'd like to just say that, people tend to, there isn't a race, by the way. I have it on good authority from source, which I call love and everything there is. It's not a race. So whether some people have been feeling a bit lost, and some people have been feeling as if they're not doing enough, or maybe they're getting left behind or what have you, and it's not the case. Love will never leave you behind. And all that we're doing is this awakening, is our hearts are being awakened to who we truly are. And love is ever present, omnipresent, and all of those things. It's always there. And so we are heading to, some of us are already in the awakening process, aware of it, and some are just stretching and going, oh my God, something's going on. And some are kind of way over there with it, So everybody's doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing right now. And it is happening right now for so many people. Yeah.
Thank you, Jay. Jen, when I'm looking at that question, yes, I totally agree with everything that Jay said. I think we're in it, and we're all at different stages of it according to how up for it, how much we've welcomed it into our life. But as I read that question, my feeling is that I want to turn that question back to you, actually, and ask you, where are you in this awakening? Because actually the only thing that matters right now is how you're coping with it and what you're getting from it. And as I tune in to your question, I'm kind of getting flutters in my chest, but I'm also getting this kind of almost like a churning belly, almost like you're excited about it and also really anxious about it. And what I would absolutely recommend that you do is, as you focus on it, just kind of listen to your sweet soul voice. Okay. So I know you can do that. I really feel that. But just like take in a couple of deep breaths and allow yourself to just calm down and ask your higher self, because I know you can do this. Ask your higher self, what is my role right now? What do I need to do? And my feeling is all you need to do is the next right thing. Just take it step by step. Right action after right action. And I think as we all do that ourselves, the awakening will happen faster and faster. So I hope that's helpful. I hope you didn't mind me sticking my beak in there.
You know what, that actually helps me as well, because every question that is asked is a question we have asked or we're about to ask. Everybody's questions, because we're all one. And the more I do this work, the more I realize how, again, there's no separation. Everything's interconnected. So every question is, as we answer it, I'm answering it for myself as well. So thank you, everybody, for your questions. They're all really valid, really important.
Oh yeah, that's so true. So anyway, I hope that was helpful, Jen. Right, let me we've got messages coming in left, right, and centre here at the moment. So thank you for that. We've got a howdy. Do you remember Shannon from the Barefoot Broadcast days 11 years ago? Shannon is listening to us from Texas. G'day. Oh, that's Australian. Hang on. Get my accents right. Thank you so much for putting a shout out for us tonight, Shannon. I really, really appreciate it. And I love that you're here with us.
Wow.
It's repeating yourselves. We've got a hello from AB. Not sure who AB is, but you're very welcome. And thank you for joining us. Let us know where you are in the world, because I'm always fascinated to know exactly how far we're reaching, because I can see that we've got Devon involved because Jen has joined us. We've got Texas, we've got AB, wherever you are. Now we've got a message from somebody. Now, I know a little bit of this backstory, and I'm working with this person behind the scenes as well. But I'd like you to give your feeling on this, Jay. So, hi, I'm fighting to return my daughter who was unlawfully, forcefully taken from me because I disclosed domestic abuse from ex. Could you advise what I need to do to return her ASAP, please? Do you feel
Wow.
comfortable on Jay? I mean, it's a
I don't feel uncomfortable with any question whatsoever. And I always think, no question is off limits. Sometimes it's, again, the feeling of we don't know the whole picture. And what I mean by that is, this sounds like quite a heavy situation. I'm not legally qualified at all, as you know, but at the same time, my gut feelings come into this as well. And I think when there's any conflict with exes or children, sometimes this thing is very karmic. I've recently been drawn into this with somebody in my area who've had an issue with a child, and it's like the child between the two of them, and there has to be. It's like with energy. It would be like the push me pull you syndrome. I'm having it, you're having it, I'm doing this, you're doing that, and in the middle is the child. Now in this case, obviously this is much more difficult. Than it's not just a case of, well, I want to know, you can have there's something else in the mix as well. And having been in an abusive domestic situation as a child myself, I can only speak from that perspective and say I wanted someone to fight for me. I wanted someone to hear me, to say, I'm here for you. However the situation pans out, I wanted to be heard and listened to and seen. Now, the most important thing in all of this is, of course, the child. But, when you get into the realms of where we work, Louisa, as you know, energetically, there's a karmic picture as well. So there's karma involved here, is what I feel. There is some kind of tug of war with a child situation that goes back to another lifetime. And it feels to me as if the best advice I ever give anybody in a situation like this is to try and come into some kind of peaceful place in your heart with it, because there's a lot of anger, rage, angst. I'm going to get this person, or there's a lot of wanting to revert, which all of which is valid, by the way. Of course, you're going to feel that way. But at the same time, it's like our issues always start with us, whatever they are. And when we go into our heart really deeply and truly ask, what is it I need to see here? How can I bring relief into this situation? There is always an answer. And I would say to this lovely lady, what you need to do is to be at peace with yourself in your own heart. And I feel as though this situation has escalated from whoever it is, from the parental. It's a generational thing, this. It's kind of like an inherited thing. Does that make any sense? So it's like a generational thing, and it's been brought through for this lady to be in this lifetime to find the solution, if that doesn't sound too heavy. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like there is a solution to this, and there is a more peaceful solution than the one that is causing you angst at the moment. It's a big subject, this. It's really difficult to sort of give advice, because each person, this is where it's easier for me to work one-to-one rather than in an arena such as this with such a question as that, because there's other issues involved. And when you work one-to-one with someone, you very often then can ask, you've got the time to actually offer, more of a heart-based answer than just kind of, I don't want to fumble around in the dark with this one, it's too important. Do you know what I mean? How do you feel, Louisa?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, these are the kinds of questions that at some level I dread because because somebody's going through it, and I would never want to go through that myself, and it's hard to kind of put yourself in that position. But B, it's such high stakes, isn't it? We're talking about our children.
Yes.
But as you were talking there, Jay, I was reminded of a message that you gave me 11 years ago, and or 12, 10 years ago, sorry. And I was reminded of it, and I kind of tried to dispel it, but then it came back again. And so I want to share this advice that Jay gave me all those years ago. And basically what Jay said to me is, you need to feel yourself holding your child. You need to be in that space of holding your child and feeling your daughter, feeling like you're holding her, feeling like you're with her, and feeling like there's absolutely nothing to fear. And this is a huge leap, because right now it probably doesn't feel like it's possible to feel that. But what absolutely feels the most important right now is that you can feel that you two are together. She's with you, she's in your arms, and that you're kind of radiating that field of your togetherness out there, and also that there's no fear, and that there's no separation, and also that the feeling that everything is just, as it's resolving, almost feel like it's already settled. When Jay gave me that advice all those years ago, I had no idea that I would be pregnant very, very soon after. She didn't make me, did you? But you said I needed to feel my baby in my arms. And it quickly changed things around. So I'm really reminded of that. And like I said, I will get back to you with the astrological parts of that too. So I hope that's helpful.
Louisa, thank you so much for that. I'd forgotten that bit. And yes, I think I echo that completely. Just see this situation already resolved. And I know it isn't as easy as that. And, again, we've got a limited time and space here. So it's a big subject. But
and also I would say, if anyone does want to work with either of us privately, then in the show notes below there's our email addresses, our website addresses, anything, if you want to contact us, you can do. And obviously we're very happy to work with people. And she said, thank you very much, ladies. We've got Lauren Stratton here. Sorry, you were going to say something, Jay. Is that someone new?
No, I'm going to shut up. Oh my gosh. Hello, darling. I know Lauren. Hello.
Okay. So we've got Lauren Stratton here saying, so lovely to see you both. I would like some clarity on my health. I'm a bit of a doctor avoider, I have to say. Guilty as charged too. That's me as well. However, I have an extremely swollen tummy most days and lots of discomfort. Okay. Do you want to take that away, Jay?
No, you can do it.
No, I'm ready. I'm ready. First thing I would say is, what aren't you processing right now? Like what's churning around? What's going on in terms of a situation that you feel like you can't resolve? It feels like there's a situation that feels unresolvable, and consequently it feels like your body is trying to resolve it behind the scenes again and again and again, but with the feeling that there's something not quite, like, like if you were set an impossible task and it felt like you were never going to resolve it. I feel at some level there's that stuck energy of it trying to clear, but also knowing that it can't clear. So that's the first thing that I would ask you to check in on yourself. This is high stakes, isn't it, Jay?
It is, but it's wonderful because we need, everybody has to sort of, and the thing is, we're all in this together, so it's not just, we're not setting ourselves up here to be the font of all knowledge. We're just saying that, whatever advice, and it's a bit like the way I look at it, it's like a quantum conversation. So in these conversations that we have, we're kind of, as I've learned over the last couple of years or so, even more so, we have these conversations with people like chatting to your granny or your mum or over a cup of tea when you've been to the market that day. and because of what we've been through and what we're going through now, we're able to sort of just chew the fat and go, do you know what? I've got a feeling, it could just be something that you're eating, or I've tried
Yeah.
this, I've tried that. But I love what you said, Louisa, because very often I used to get irritable bowel syndrome many years ago, and it was all due to stress and panic. And it's where I stored my female wounding, if that makes any sense. So, Lauren, I don't know if that makes any sense to you, sweet girl.
I think there's more to come about this. As I tune in, I'm probably going to come back to this, Lauren. In fact, I will. I know I'm going to come back to this. Just check in first and think, is there something that you feel like you can't resolve right now, like a no-win situation? If I was going to if I was going to put it into my own terms, like no-win situations that I've been in is like where you're a people pleaser, you're trying to make a relationship work, or trying to make something work, and you almost feel like you can't get out of it. It's that kind of energy that I'm sensing. But there's obviously so much more to this. And if you are a bit of a doctor avoider, I'm pretty sure you've thought about allergies and thought about food things and all that, because most of us doctor avoiders do that. So yes, and obviously neither of us are doctors. You're not a doctor on the sly, are you, Jay?
Oh, I don't know. Could be. No, I'm not.
Right. I'm going to park this one, Lauren. Let's like crack on, and we will come back to this. We'll revisit this at the end. I know there's something else there, and also let us know if there is something unresolvable, because it might be that as you share something else, I'll know. Oh yeah, is there grounding is something that I notice in the stomachs of people. Like we're trying to ground something as well. So is there, like, what are you trying to birth or ground and kind of like bring into reality right now? I'll come back, I promise. We've got a hello from Jennifer Obi. Hey, Jen. Also from Texas. I've got Amber here asking, okay, should I stay in London with my boyfriend Rudy until he's ready to move to the countryside in a few months' time? Or should I move to Stroud now with my son River and start settling into new country life? What are your instinctive thoughts?
Well, let me think. Well, I've got that song coming up again, that A Message to You, Rudy.
Amber's also saying, thank you guys, so much love.
Oh,
Okay.
bless you, Amber. I just want to say, I feel like saying that. What other word? I had to look at the words to that. I think of what the words were. It's like, a message to you, Rudy. Stop your messing around. Got to think of the future.
I think
time to whatever it is the words are, I don't know, but it feels like it's very, very imminent, this move, and it's something you want to do but you're scared of doing. And I would just say, go, do it, jump in. A message,
right.
Rudy.
I'm actually looking up the lyrics to it. I've actually seen the specials. They were brilliant. Stop fooling around. Time to straighten right out. Better think of your future, else you'll wind up in jail. Stop your messing around. Time to straighten out. Creating problems in town.
Problems in town. Yeah, there you go. Move to the country.
Actually, well, the funny thing is, Amber, I was actually going to say, even though I know when we last spoke, because Amber connected in with us last time, didn't she, Jay? When we last spoke, there was a very, very sort of like positive, yes, definitely go back to the UK, and definitely don't worry about this relationship. It feels like it feels like it's going in the right direction. I actually, when I read this, immediately thought Stroud. I think it's important that you ground and that you and River feel really safe and secure, and start to feel, yes, home, and get that really sort of like grounded goddess energy going on, which I know you can do. I think from that place, a relationship would be so much easier. And obviously you can visit, the town and have like loads of fun and stuff. I also think, I think what you'll be able to offer Rudy is that safe space, that space to come down. And I think you just need a head start. So I think get yourself sorted out first, a bit like, when you're on a plane, sort yourself out, in case there's an emergency. I'm not saying there is an emergency, but get yourself sorted out. Also, my instinct right now, going back to the original question by Jen White about a global awakening, I'm getting so many messages right now for us all to get to ground as soon as possible, and for us all to okay, I mean, hands up, I'm a bit of a prepper on the sly. I don't have like a generator or anything like that. I wish I did. But I do think it's worth us being as grounded and as prepared as we can for who knows what's going on. Because like at the start, when we were talking about the global awakening, we were talking about like we're all going into this headlong, and we're all kind of like diving right in, and nobody is at the same stage as each other. We're all doing the best we can right now. And if you think about it, we've got hundreds upon thousands of, well, millions of different independent ideas on what the world needs now, other than love, pure love, or love, sweet love. We all have different ideas, and if we're all in a co-creative universe right now, with our desires like going crazy in all these different directions right now, it's going to take that earth energy a little bit longer to sort out. It's going to take a little bit longer to ground. So I say get grounded as soon as possible. And that is across the board to everyone that's listening tonight. Be sensible. I wouldn't be planning any massive trips. I think if you're doing a trip, do it to ground somewhere and get as safe and secure as you can. Not saying there's a global disaster approaching, nothing like that. But what I do think is we need to be aware of our surroundings. And I think that's, I think that's I don't know how to even put it into words, but I think it's important that we just do that.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think it never does there's never any harm in grounding, and it's all about bringing everything into balance as well. And I think, if you're, I've always had this thing that's, if there's any doubt, there's no doubt. So if you are questioning something, I think I said this to somebody the other week, it's like, if you're hearing what you think is wedding bells and it's actually warning bells, then your intuition is trying to talk to you. And very often we don't listen to that. We go, oh no, it's all right, it's okay, that'll be fine. So just, this is a time when we're all coming into our own, into our hearts more and more and more, and being challenged by circumstances that normally we'd just go, oh, I'll do this or I won't do that and blah, blah, blah. But, now it's like, really, what do you want your life to be? What is it that you really, truly want? Because it is available for you, but just be careful what you wish for, because you might get it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I love that.
I
Go
do
on.
believe with all my heart that we are all real creators of our own reality. I've had too much evidence to the contrary, to say that that's so. And when you really set your stall out and you want something, it really comes to you. There's no way that you can't have it. It might not be what you envisaged, or the way it might not come in the right package, but it sure as hell will be what you need. And then I had an insight this week, which might help a few people as well, which was everything, and I mean everything, that is around you right now is exactly what you need. And a lot of people have been coming to me and going, yeah, but I want this and I want that. Why can't I manifest this? And why can't I get that? I'm like, you're not meant to have it right now. Accept that everything that you need is around you. And that is the quickest way to draw everything else that you need into your life from that point of acceptance. And so there we go back to the grounding again. We're going back to grounding, or what I call 0 point, is to just get to the point of nothingness and everythingness. And things begin to clarify a little bit more when we're in that quiet space. So it's just a little bit of granny advice there.
Beautiful. I love the granny. Let the granny free. I love it. Perfect. Thank you so much, Jay. I hope that was helpful, Amber, and for everyone else that's watching. All I can say is, crikey, we've got loads and loads of messages to go through. So I'm going to go through them right now. So we've got a big hello from Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe is amazing. He was on my Feel Good conversation show very, very recently. He's awesome. Really, really good. Dr. Joe Delaney, also known as... effing Dr. Joe. Obviously, I have no problems using those words, but I don't want to, upset anyone to me.
Everybody here is going to be upset. That's fabulous.
Maybe saying hello again. Hello again. Now, Patrice Strange is somebody I know who's joining us from Hawaii tonight. So thank you very much.
Hello.
And Patrice is saying, any way to contact my husband's father that just passed?
Yes.
His name is Bob.
Hello. Aloha, Patrice. This is just, I am tingling from head to foot. Is here already. There is no time, honestly, when they go over. And interestingly, my stepdad passed away recently, and his name was Bob. And so Bob, the Bob energy's been around, and I keep seeing cars with Bob on the registration too. And what he's saying to me is, I'm here. I haven't gone anywhere. You just can't see me. But he says you can feel me. And oh, my heart. He's this man. There's something to. Oh, there's many ways you can interpret, very quickly what you get when you're with somebody or when you're doing a channeling or a tuning in for. And my heart is racing like mad. So that could either mean he passed with a heart condition, or it could mean that he's a big-hearted man. But either way, the heart is involved. And he's standing on a beach actually, and he's doing something like this, almost as if he's doing the haka. But I know that's a New Zealand thing, but it's a very Polynesian Maori type connection. And I'm being reminded of Moana now as well. And this man is one of the ancestors, and he's around you, and he's one of your guides. He's a wonderful man. The energy that's coming through is he's a big man, a big-hearted man with a big energy. Does any of that make any sense?
I don't know. I'll let Patrice come back to you. So thank you very much for that, Jay. That's lovely. I'm not going to answer that because I know a little bit about Bob. But
You're
it's
welcome. You're welcome. Doing that
Right.
now.
Jen White is saying thank you very much. And we've got loveface.xyz. I think we're being whatever it's called, trolled here. I have blocked them in the chat room because they have. I'm kind of pleased actually. It's about time I had someone trolling me. That means actually I get some people watching me finally. We've got Carl here. He's saying, only just managed to tune in. Wow, beauty's on the screen and love in the air. Thank you very much, my darling. Jen is saying spot on. So that's good advice. She's very happy about that. Lauren Stratton is in Scotland, and I think she's already she has actually answered something already. So she's saying, yes, I'm in a difficult situation with trying to move house and hitting a brick wall. I think she's also added. She's also saying definitely unresolved issues to childhood trauma. Recently, my mum very defensively questioned why I was going for therapy because in her eyes, I didn't have any trauma. I can see where the dots join. I'm going to come back to that right at the end.
Yeah.
Brutally.
Right. I get that. I get that totally because I had that. Yes. Get it.
Okay, so right, where are we? We've got Wolfgang. Hi from our new apartment in Setúbal, sort of like midway down on the Portuguese coast. That's amazing. Right, Jennifer is saying, tuning from Texas, also loving the energy of both of you. Louisa, I emailed a question earlier. If you didn't get it, I can repost. Jennifer was just wondering. Okay, so she's saying, yeah, there is a new flame, and it's going well, and and there's also a cautious approach. I don't want to read out the whole thing because this is in an email. So her new man just appears a little calm and reserved at times, and I can't get a clear picture of how he feels about me. I believe the interest and attraction, it's mutual, but not sure. Okay, I just want to start with this. It's mutual. I really feel it's mutual. It really is. And I think it's time that you absolutely trust that somebody is going to like you for who you are. Okay. And I think that is what's going on right now, Jen, is that somebody's taking the time and trouble to really get to know who you are. Not like sort of ideal Jennifer. There's nothing like that. He wants to get to know who you really are. And that comes with time, because it's really easy to kind of pretend who you are, when you first meet. That's so easy. It's the easiest thing actually, is to kind of delight and surprise somebody. But he really wants to, I think, get things right. He's taking his time, and for that to happen, I think it takes a bit of time. Otherwise we just become like this one trick pony, and when we think the attraction's going, we just start up that trick again. We start up that illusion. He's trying to see the real you. That's my take on it. What about you,
I
Jay?
completely agree with that, honestly. And I tell you, for my two pennyworth, I'm hearing Garth Brooks singing The Red Strokes, which is the most beautiful song. I don't know if you're familiar with it, Jen. And I love Garth Brooks. I love country music and all that goes with it, as well as lots of other things. But I'm hearing, and that song was playing the other day, and the words are absolutely gorgeous. And it's about two people getting to know one another, and it's about the picture that they're painting. And in the song, he says the picture they paint is one of the heart. And to those who have seen it, it's a true work of art. And I am tingling like you wouldn't believe as I say that to you. And I feel that that's what's going on here. And he is trying to get to know the real you. And sometimes, and I've got one of those, I've got a quiet one, and it absolutely threw me. I was like, oh my God, he doesn't talk. And we've been married now 16 years. So the quiet ones aren't always the ones that, they're not saying things for a reason, because they're thinking about it and they're feeling it, and they don't always they're not as flamboyant sometimes as we are. So go with it, trust it, take your time, there's no rush, and go play golf.
Excellent. We've got a message from AB now. So I've fully taken off the rose-colored spectacles and it's off the scale scary, but I'm equally so excited because it's boom or bust. We couldn't carry on as we were anymore, and I know love wins. I love that. I honestly feel like this was the time that I was born to be. So, I've always felt that I was meant to be here to be part of something really big, part of a global awakening. And yet I feel that love wins too. I really feel that. I'm absolutely with you. Thank you for sharing that, AB.
Me too. Thank you, AB. I agree. Beautiful.
Dr. effing Joe Delaney has just come back saying, regarding gut feelings, how do you discern between ego defensiveness and heart intelligence? It's a great question. Jay, what are your thoughts?
Question. It's a very good question. Ego defensiveness. Well, I had a bit of that this week, and I'll just share a little story, if I may. Because we're always having to work on ourselves. The work never ends. It never will. And I had a situation where my ego came up big time, and I was really upset, because I'm like, well, I've worked with my ego and it's doing really well, and clearly it wasn't. And it came up and smacked me around the face. And it took me a couple of days or so, but I had to really be honest with myself. I had to allow myself to have the defensiveness and all that went with it, including quite a few swear words. And then a couple of days later, I'd settled into my heart, and the heart gives you a different feeling, and the heart gives you absolute clarity with so much love. That's how you know the difference. The ego is quite harsh, and it's quite cold, and it feels quite hard and brittle. And I think you do know the difference when you're defending yourself out of wounded ego. None of it's wrong, by the way. All of this is all acceptable. But when we're trying to evolve into being better human beings and better souls, we want to know what the difference is. And thank you for asking that question. That's brilliant. But your heart does know. Your heart is truly intelligent. And we are learning now to think with our hearts, not the brain. And when you sit for a few minutes or a few days, sometimes it takes a while, your heart will tell you, this doesn't feel right. Is it making you feel good? If it's not, drop it and try and find that place in your heart where you can find some kind of peace, where the ego would just keep fighting and yes, but, yeah, but the thing is, blah, 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 and the heart doesn't need to do that. The heart is just love. The heart can just love. So that's what I would say to that one. What about you, Louisa?
Wow. I was going to say something very similar, actually. I think the difference is the feeling. Like the ego defensiveness is brittle, isn't it? And it feels really justified in having its own way, and the heart intelligence is soft. It's it just feels good. There's a real sort of like difference, and I think we all get tricked with these ego defensiveness things going on. It's always happening. And I'm always reminded of a question that my husband first asked me many years ago and often asks me, and we kind of play around with it all the time. But he says, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? And I think the ego defensiveness always wants to be right. But the heart intelligence is about happiness and it's about peace. And that's how I differentiate between them. If I can't feel my way out, then I ask myself, am I just trying to be right or happy? The heart will know when to stop, like not stop beating, but the heart, I guess it does as well. But the heart doesn't have anything to prove. It just is. Whereas the ego is always wanting to prove itself.
Exactly.
And I quite enjoy those moments where I'm tested and I think, okay, I need to step out of the way here.
It's a hard one, you know. And again, this week I was really, really, really challenged, and I didn't think I was gonna. I thought I'd failed, and I said to a friend, I was crying on the phone. I was like, "I've failed. I'm never going to get to heaven. I'm just crap at this."
Seriously? Oh, Jay, come on.
But really, truly, I really did feel like that, and I had to, because I had to allow myself to wallow in that feeling, and I recognise, because every single part of everybody on this planet is a part of me. It's just a projection or a mirror, or a mirror of what I want to be or what I don't want to be. Either way, it's a mirror. And I can choose. I get to choose which one do I want to follow. Some days I want to follow the nasty bit and go, I'm having a shit day. Pardon my French, but you know, it's okay to have a rubbish day. Because that will lead you even more quickly to the better day, because your heart will then kick in with its intelligence and go, come on, you know, we don't need to stay in that place.
It's true.
It's sunny. It's absolutely true. Yeah. Tried and tested.
That's perfect and an absolutely awesome question. Thank you so much for that, Jo. Love it. Okay, I'm going to have to rattle through these, I think, because they're still coming in. AB saying, if we can realise that every one of us is just really a portal, just like you were just saying there, Jay, and we all choose to be here to channel down the light into this beautiful earth. Yeah, I think that would be really lovely.
I really love that, AB. That's fantastic. Yeah, I agree with that one.
Okie dokes. All right, Jackie is sharing with us. Yes, it does make sense. It's about acknowledging the soul journey of each person. It's about partnering with others to help get them where they need to go. An extension of courage, wisdom, and peace. This is a real kind of feel-good experience, isn't it? It doesn't mean we don't feel it, but we're all equipped from our previous experiences to turn the dark into light.
Oh, wow. Major tingles here.
Our custody issue. In X's family, it's a generational thing. His parents fight. His parents fight for their children. Now his parents did to their granddaughter, so it is generational.
It is generational then. Thank you so much for letting us know that, because again, when we say these things, and we can all give an opinion, but it's so lovely to have it validated, because you can work with that. You know, we can go from here and find a peaceful solution for everyone, believe it or not. As much as it appears that there's conflict in that situation, there is a definite peace to be found, and I'm feeling it with all of my heart, because you also have so much help with you, and you have so much good energy around you. But when we're in conflict in our hearts, we only see the bad stuff, and fear will always come and tell us, yeah, you're right, you know, you are rubbish. But it's never like that. The light always wins, always. End of.
Yeah. AB's appreciating us, saying, I love both of your answers to that heart-wrending question. Feel Good Portugal, that's Carl is saying, great question to Dr. Jo. Lily Andrew, I'm not sure. I think these are other people, and just we've got a few more people coming in and trolling. Thank you very much, Louisa, for that useful suggestion. Okay, Lauren Stratton, we're coming back to you at the end. Jackie, I've been experiencing that as well, adding probiotics and researching more of an alkaline diet for the physical, loving myself and telling my body, thank you, consider spiritual journey as well. That's really, really good advice, Jackie. I want to add to that, because my belly's been getting bigger as well over this last couple of years, and it's not because I'm pregnant. And one of the things that's been going on for me, I think, is I've been trying to ground myself. Our own housing situation has been quite difficult over the last, we moved from England 4.5 years ago, and it's only literally in this last few months that we've actually felt like we're home, and this isn't our last home. And I know that, and it feels like at some level I'm begging for a home, begging for the right home, and that feeling of all that energy that I'm holding to actually ground. And it's almost like I want to grow a tree or birth a child, which I don't want to do because my husband's watching as well. We've got enough, but it just feels like there's that extra as well. I think if we're sort of homeless, sometimes we grow that home in our bellies too. But I know there's some more I want to talk about with that. AB saying, look at why you are a doctor avoider. Feel the fear and face it anyway. That's a great suggestion as well. I might need to turn that inwards as well. Find the partnership with your partner and agree to what you both need right now. Great. Moaz, now I can't remember where you're joining us from, Moaz. I know you're a Feel Good Portugal viewer. I have disc bulging, and sometimes I get muscle spasms. Therefore, I need helpers all the time. So how do I get over my fear of moving to Portugal by myself? That's a great question. Jay, what specific advice would you give to Moaz who's do a big move?
It's obviously a medical thing, but medical thing. Everything starts energetically. Now that sounds like it's it's so simple, it's energetic. The disc bulging thing, and because I feel into this question, I'm asking now for guidance on this, and I feel that it's not just about the fear of moving to Portugal alone isn't about the fear of moving to Portugal alone. It's about other fears, and the muscle spasms and all the other related things it feels as though it's trauma of some kind that's emotional that you have stored there. And as a result, you've lost your wings. You don't know how to fly, and you think you need assistance in order to fly. But you know what? Even if you're in a wheelchair, and I don't say this lightly, even if you're in a wheelchair, you can still fly because your heart wants you to be free. And when you come into that place inside of you that says, I'm afraid, please help me. I don't know what to do. You are opening your heart to help coming to you. And every dream that you dream and everything that you wish you can have, you can move to Portugal and you won't be alone, because at the moment you probably feel just as alone where you are. Now, I don't know if any of that makes sense, but I'm feeling it really with all of me. And I feel I want to give this person a big hug and say, don't fear. Please don't fear. There is nothing to fear, because love is there waiting to catch you once you allow yourself to be loved. Does that make sense?
I think
Hopefully
that's
they'll tell us.
Yeah, I think that's really, really lovely. I sense, Moaz, as well, that there is a fear that almost like you've taken steps before in the past, and you felt on your own, or you felt very exposed. I think less so the aloneness, but almost like the exposure of being new in a place feels a little bit daunting. And what I'm really feeling for you is it is the connection with nature. As much as you can connect in the place that you're going, you almost need to start connecting with the nature now from where you are. You almost need to, like when you're sat in your room or your office or wherever it is you most prefer to actually think or meditate or get time on your own, you almost need to, and you can do it in the way that works for you, but I think either kind of focus on a tree in front of you, or imagine like the energy, the roots coming out from your belly, like from your sacral area, like feel yourself go into the ground, and then almost feel as if your roots go as far as Portugal, which I know is a flipping long way. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think are you messaging us from New York right now? I can't quite recall, but I think you're over in America. So you almost want to feel like your roots already extend over to Portugal, or do it in the way that works for you, whether like you're breathing air and you know it reaches Portugal, but feel the connection from where you are already to Portugal. And so when you're moving over, it doesn't feel like you're having to expose yourself, like rip up your roots and then they get air to them and they dry out. Your roots are already there. And it's almost like you're just kind of shifting ever so slowly. Does that make sense? So I think you can take some of this leap in your imagination and your heart, and almost start to feel as if you're connected to the Schumann resonance, like Portuguese style. You know, that moment where you just go out and you can almost feel the heartbeat of earth. I really, really feel that. And I also mirror what Jay's saying about love will find you. But I do feel like it's that first step.
Wow, that's brilliant, Louisa. Yeah, again, having two different perspectives or two same opposites, but it's lovely, isn't it? Because everybody has their way of saying whatever, and you always find that whatever. I mean, you've just said. I was saying, no, you can sit in a wheelchair and you can be free, and you've just said the same thing, just using different words, but brilliant. And I think this is where it's nice to come together on things like this, because it gives even more clarity, doesn't it? And whatever I say might not fit with what somebody else can understand, and when you say it, they'll go, "Oh yeah, I get it now." So that's fantastic.
I don't know why we just didn't just come and do this sooner, Jay. We could have had so much. So right. Getting a lot of love. I want to go to Jackie now. It actually feels like we're doing one of those kind of like spiritualist churches now. Hey, I've got there's a white rose for somebody at the back. You there?
Is there anybody there? On?
Sorry, for anyone that likes to go to spiritualist churches, it's just no disrespect. So Jackie is saying, hello, it's Jackie from Missouri. So far, this has been showing me the different focus from my question to you, Louisa, this month. Yeah, I work with Jackie. So Jackie said, my question is, how do we find others to form a template to become greater co-creators? Now, I think this would be a great question for you, like Jay, coming from your sort of co-creative perspective. How can we, I think what Jackie's asking is like, how can we kind of bring that template, start getting our desires together?
Well, I would say you're already doing it, girl. Here we are. There's 3 of us here, or however many there are in the chat room. All you need to do is just to keep going, moving authentically towards love, towards your heart, and becoming authentic in every day that you do it, even if it's one tiny thing that you do that is authentically you. It's very hard, we think we're being authentic, and then a couple of days later we'll be challenged and realize that we weren't being, being honest about what we feel or what we want. And sometimes there are those what I call full stop points, where you're brought up to a halt and you have to go, hang on a minute, I've been looking at this the wrong way. What I'm trying to say here is, when you are constantly going into that space, into that 0 point space, and taking a breather and going, right, hang on, what is it I really want? And clarifying every minute what you want, you become more authentic. I used to be really scared of saying what I felt, or even doing this kind of thing. I'd be terrified to give an opinion in case it was wrong or people didn't like me. I don't care anymore, because I speak from my heart, and my heart is good. I've got a good heart. I love love. And all I want to do is to help people to feel that love, and not help them in a way that's disabling, but to help people to find their connection to their source, so that they can feel the things that I feel in my life pretty much every day, which makes it a magical life. And when you are living authentically, that being that you are, closer every day to source and to love, you don't care what people think about you, kind of. Well, you don't really, because you are what you are. You can't apologize for who you are. This is who you are. And that forms a template, which then connects on what I call like a fractalized system. So it starts with you, everything does, that tiny pinpoint of light that's deep within you. And you expand upon that and you just make it bigger and bigger every day in tiny ways. Some days you can't be bothered, and that's fine too. But the more that you become authentically who you truly are, and that just happens as a natural course with life, making good choices, different choices, that template forms who you truly are. It's your blueprint. And then everyone that is like you will be attracted to you in a way. It's like the vibrational frequency that you become. And that's what we are. We are all energy and frequency. When that frequency is amped up and you go onto a different station, the people listening to that station will be drawn to you as well. That's kind of how it works for me. I don't know if that helps. So you're already doing it, Jackie. You really are. Just keep doing it more.
I love that. I really, really love that. Thank you so much, Jay. And that's such a great question, Jackie. I can see that there are some answers from other people coming in the chat room. I'm going to say we can't do any more questions. We will answer what's already there. So I know where it is because we've got so much to go through. Okay. Yeah. So we've got just 2 more questions and then we're going to have to clear off. But I would add, I've been reminded of something similar to your question, like how can we become greater co-creators? I was listening to a Barry Long talk, and as Jay might remember, Carl is a massive Barry Long fan. He loves Barry Long. And I think Barry Long said that like if we want to save the planet or if we want to create the global awakening or whatever, the best prayer we can actually have is, I want to bring to this earth what will be best for Earth or Gaia or whoever you call Mother Nature. Because all of the time we're wanting what is good for us and what we think is good for everybody based on our own desires. And so it also sends out all this confliction. There's all these different ideas as to what would make Jay happy, what would make me happy, what would make Carl happy, what would make you happy. And they might not all coincide. And we might not all make it anyway. In fact, that's the one thing that we can all, rest assured with is we don't make it out alive here, do we? We are... Yeah, and at some point, we will leave our bodies and but I'm pretty sure that like our souls persist or life persists. And so one of the ideas is like how can we co-create with the earth, and like almost like as we want what's best for the earth and kind of put our desires outside of it, brings a new perspective. I'm trying to do that every day. I'm really rubbish at it because I just want to add in and a pair of new shoes or something like that. But I think what Jay was saying is really good. You are already co-creating, you're already collaborating, and also I also want to add that sometimes we, like when we have these ideas, we think that they're the ideas that are coming through for us. I actually think a lot of us pick up on the ideas for the world that we might not be the custodian of it. We might just have the idea, and there might be like hundreds of other people around the world that are ready and right and have the resources to bring that idea to fruition. So sometimes if I get an idea and I know I'm not the right person for it, I pass it on etherically. I say, okay, this isn't for me. It's a great idea, but I send it off with love. And so I think we can also co-create that way. Got some feedback from Jen. Jennifer is saying, thank you so much, Jay. I really love that. So she really liked your song. Right. We've got Kim Nightingale here. Is that somebody you know, Jay? Kim Nightingale?
Nightingale? No, I've got a Kim. He's my husband, but it's not him. Hello, Kim.
So we've got Kim. Kim is joining us from Gabriola Island, Western Canada. I'd love to hear how you found out about us, Kim. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Right, Jen White is saying, can you explain more, Louisa, about what you feel will happen when you say get grounded? Can you just let me know in what way do you want to know about grounding? Like you personally, Jen, or like what will happen in the world as we get grounded? Let me know that and I will answer that. Okay. Carla's saying this has come a long way since Blog Talk Radio and Silly Hippies. Oh, Jay, do you remember that episode?
I don't remember any Silly Hippies. The only one I remember was Carl.
No, back in the day, Carla's reminding us that I got kicked out. I got kicked out of the show that I was doing with you back on Blog Talk Radio, and I didn't realise that you could still hear us. And you were doing the show, and I was a bit hungover on vodka, and Carl and I were giggling. We were like we were giggling, and you could hear us in the background having a conversation, and you were going la 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 la. Trying to kick us out. Oh dear, those are the days. Moas is saying, I love what Jay said about warning bells. I'm not sure if my move to Portugal was caused by my anxiety or warning bells. I am connection saying wonderful answer. Thank you very much. Thank you. AB is saying, I feel like we've moved to a place where whatever happens, our questions are, we can't find the answers from outside ourselves. We feel we need others to help us, but our hearts have our answers. Absolutely. AB, you're brilliant.
Yeah, love it. Brilliant.
Shannon is saying, anything coming up for me that I'm not paying attention to? Have you got anything? What does Shannon need to pay attention to right now, Jay?
Need to pay attention to? I don't know.
I know.
Yeah,
Shannon, you need to slow down immediately. You need to slow down. Take a moment. Absolutely, just give thanks for everything. You need to slow down, really, really slow down. Even though you think you've probably already slowed down enough, you need to slow down even more. Not because you need to, not because you're tired, not because your family needs you, not for any of those reasons. The only reason I say slow down right now is I want you to experience more sensory pleasure in life. I want you to really smell your coffee, really feel the grass under your feet, really feel the comfort in your favorite chair. I feel like you've been going so fast, and this isn't really me saying this, by the way, but it's like your life is going so fast at the moment that you're not getting the time to use all of your senses. So if you don't feel like you can slow down, Shannon, just absolutely take a moment and say, what am I smelling? What am I hearing? What am I seeing? What am I feeling? And do that over and over. So you're training yourself back into your senses. I hope that helps.
May I just add something to that and just say that again, it's like, it's very difficult when you're a buzzy person, and it's this person feels, from what you're saying as well, because I'm getting it in my heart, it's like blah, 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 and it is a busy bee sort of person. Got to be here, got to be there, got to do da 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 da, and I've got too much, and it's like Alice in Wonderland's coming in now. I'm late for a very important date, and it's like, you're not late because there's all the time in the world, because time doesn't really exist. And what I will say, that when you move through this dimensional stuff and this energy frequency stuff, you begin to really feel how there is no time, and you can bend time, and you can make time work for you. And, you can stretch time, you can condense time. And so all I say to people is, there is no time, and there's no time like the present. And all the things connecting with time, all of it is a bloody big illusion. It truly is an illusion. And you have got all the time in the world to do everything that you need to do on this planet until the day that you die. And even then, you're not done. So just enjoy life, Shannon. Just enjoy life and flow as the river flows. And even the rivers sometimes have to flow into small lagoons in order to rest before they carry on again. And that's what I would say, to add to what Louisa said.
That's beautiful. Really, really beautiful, Jay. Moaz is saying, I'm in tears now. Everything you said is true. Thank you, Jay. And AB said, a beautiful answer, Jay. And AB also said, the heart is usually slow to speak and the quietest, isn't it? Maybe that's why we fall so often and fall for the loudest voice that speaks first.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, wise one. Definitely.
Jackie's adding to Moaz. Moaz consider physical manifestations as a disconnect between spiritual and physical body. Do you ask to leave the body to freedom, or do you want your body to walk with you spiritually? I love that.
That's lovely. That is beautiful. That is yet another string to the bow. You know, there are many dimensions. You know, some of the most brilliant diamonds are the ones with the most facets, and it takes a lot to get them there. But every facet shines. And you know, all of these wonderful people giving their advice too. It's brilliant. It's all adding to the diamond and the diamond energy that we're all in now too.
Yeah, I mean, this is the great thing about it, because like even if we don't get to everything, everyone is supporting each other so beautifully. And so even if we don't, if I don't read out your comments, it's not that they haven't been paid attention to, because I know everyone is responding to everyone in the chat. It's fantastic.
Oh.
This is somebody new to me. I've not come across you before. Georgianne Bodner, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Another lone star.
Joining from Texas. I'm stuck in a few different areas in my life, and I've asked my higher self many, many times. I'd appreciate any messages that you feel.
Do you want me to take this, or do you want to take it?
I think you go first.
We've both got something to say, probably, more than likely. Yeah, again, lone star state. That was immediately called into my thing. So you're a lone star, you're a lone wolf, and I get the feeling that also you're kind of, I'm seeing a beautiful star whizzing across the galaxy. You're a shooting star. I'm tingling as I'm saying this, and it's so someone the other side, if you like, or in another dimension, is showing me how much of a shooting star you are. And you're not stuck. You never are, and you're never lost. And you feel stuck because you want to move so quickly, and you've got so much going on in there, and it's like, I want to do this and I want to do that. Oh my God, I'm stuck. And I just want to say to you, just hang on, right, just calm down, because everything is achievable. There is nothing that you're stuck in. It's just that there's quite a few areas you want to go in, and you're not quite sure which one to go in. And your higher self is trying to talk to you, by the way, and it's saying, I keep giving you messages and you're not listening. And because I feel you're really switched on, and you're really, really connected, very strongly. And I feel that you need to look to the stars. This is why I'm getting the stars. And I've got a Pleiadian connection coming in here for you as well, because we go down that route as well in this room. Galactics and Pleiadians, and I feel that you have a connection with star people and star family. And I'm now seeing the Hopi star, the Hopi Indian Native American star. So it's something to do with all of that business. And I feel that you'll know what I mean. And as soon as this conversation is over, somebody's going to click with you, and you're going to click into place, and you're going to go, I know what I need to do. But your higher self is talking to you all the time. And it gave you a sign today, it's telling me. Gave you a little sign. And you were like, oh, it's almost like it's negligible. But to anyone else, it would be huge. But to you, because you're so tuned in, it would be like, well, I'm not getting any signs. Well, you are, actually. Just tune in a bit more and just sit quietly. And I think maybe Louisa might even advise that you go into nature a little and just feel the ground, and sit and ask the ancestors to come into your heart and show you the path. And you will absolutely know all's well. Nothing to worry about. That's my 2 pennies.
I love that, Jay. That's a fantastic advice. Yeah, I always think nature's good. However, as I was tuning in, I saw a few things, and I just want to quickly kind of dive into them. One of the things that I was thinking about was all of your notes and collecting. I've got this idea on patterns, like patterns that are going on for you in your life. So you're talking about different areas of your life where you feel stuck, and you've asked your higher self many, many times. My immediate feeling is that you're stuck in each of these different areas of your life for the very same reason. So it's not that you need to be stuck, but there is something uniting. There's something united in the way that you are stuck in them. And if you can identify what the stuckness is, it will kind of unravel all of that stuckness. And like all of a sudden, all of those areas will start to go boom, 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 boom. And then, like, you know, Jay saying, you're like a shooting star, you're kind of like rocket off. And then your next like choice is, okay, which one do I attend to first? But my feeling is you're stuck in all of these areas for the same reason. And it will be just something to do with the way you're thinking. It might be the words you're using. I don't know. But I'm really seeing like notebooks. And if you almost were to, and it depends on how you prefer to like talk about it and explore it. For me, I often record my voice or talk to myself and notice like the words that I'm using. But I trained in NLP, so I've got a real sort of sensitivity to that. Other people might like write or doodle while they're thinking about the different areas of their life that they're stuck in. And what I want you to do is notice the patterns, notice the words you're saying to yourself, because the clues are there. They really, really are. Like Jay is saying, your higher self is kind of like, it's all there. We have been communicating with you. So notice the patterns. And if either of us can help, we're here. I hope that helps anyway. Right. I feel like we're coming to the end of this. So I just want to just quickly go through the last questions, because we'll be back in a couple of weeks, won't we, Jay? Is that what we're agreeing to, kind of?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Moaz is saying
we will be back.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not a macho man, and I'm crying. So pleased for you. I love Jackie's question. It can feel so lonely at times. It really can. Jackie, I want my body to walk with me spiritually.
That's beautiful. Oh, wow.
We've got other comments like an off the scale, beautiful heat, Jay. That's from AB. We've got the I am connection. A wise old owl doesn't give a hoot. I love that. These days, I love it when people don't like or get me, because I thank the universe for sieving out those that are not my tribe. Oh yeah.
That's what I was going to say earlier on to whoever it was that asked the question about the template and finding co-creators. It's finding our tribe. We absolutely are. We're finding our tribe all the time, and the more that we can do this, because I haven't done anything for a long time now. I did lots of things, and then I closed down for a while, and I needed to recoup and regroup and all the rest of it. And now I've been getting the calling to get out there and do just be, just to offer who I am. However, that might help one person, it might help a million. I don't really mind if it helped one person. But I am being called now to get out there and find the tribe and allow them to find me too. So I really welcome the chance to do this. Louisa and Carl, thank you for this. I really do appreciate you both.
For it as well. We've been working with you. Like, we're always connected, aren't we, the three of us? Jackie's saying, yes, Jay, I resonate with all you've said and confirm your words as truth. I'm walking in it. I've been reading the Celestine prophecy this week, and the insights are I think they're wonderful. They're
fabulous, but fabulous.
So good. Jackie Grant is saying, oh, I've come in too late, unfortunately. Next time, hopefully. Absolutely. Please. Shannon is saying, thank you very much for that. She's found that very useful. The I am connection is saying, thank you for this wonderful show. Lovely, light-hearted energy. Tar very much. AB saying, Louisa, we have to be prepared to lose it all again, all to gain it all. So asking for whatever is needed for the greater good is such a lovely prayer.
That is really lovely. Bless you.
It was very long. It wasn't really me. I'm a bit too thick to work that out for myself, unfortunately. Right. So just the last one then. Jen wanted to know how to ground herself in the world, or how do we, is that grounding you in the world or grounding in the world, like all of us ground in the world? You know what, Jen, my feeling is as we leave this show, I will do something. Jay and I might do something to kind of ground in the world. That will be our final departure.
Can I just say that I feel I just feel that the grounding process, again, it all comes back to us. Everything seems to do it, unfortunately, and I can't blame anyone else now because it's about me. And when you ground yourself, everything else automatically gets grounded. It's like quantum entanglement. Particle over there is the particle over here, and both of the, it's the particle stuff. I've read a lot about that, and I wish I could explain it better, but it makes a lot of sense. So it's like when you ground yourself in any way, shape or form, my way is to either wash the dishes, where I get most of my meditations and spoken to by the great mother of all there is, and or if I'm sitting on the loo or whatever, something really, really grounded, like hoovering. I'll suddenly stop the hoover and I'll hear this fire go, oh my God, and I've got the answer to something. So grounding, have a cup of coffee, have a piece of cake, go for a walk, meet your mates, have a laugh, dance, do something ridiculous, get in touch with the inner child, do whatever you have to, color a picture, and that grounds you. And as a consequence, every particle that is connected to you grounds as well. And gradually, as we all get into this, everything comes into a grounding space. It's brilliant how it works.
I 100% absolutely love that. I get most of my messages when I'm washing up too. Like when people say, "Are you using your dishwasher?" I'm like, why the hell would I want to do that? I love washing up. It's really,
Yeah.
really grounding.
Yeah.
Or when I'm in the garden. Also, Jen, the other thing is we're not doing it on our own. We're really not doing it on our own. Like Jay says,
No.
when you ground, everything else is grounding around you. But
Mm.
I remember like the days of thinking, oh, if I don't do it, everything's going to go wrong, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
like it's all resting on my shoulders.
Yeah.
The real thing to learn is every blade of grass, every tree, like, you know, we're all like lightning rods of energy and frequency and vibration, you know, like we're letting our vibration, it comes out of us, it flows out, and you know, we can be influencing other people around us and all the energy around us. But then there's the trees, every blade of grass, they're also little tuning forks. So just get the tuning fork that is you right. And don't worry if it's not quite the right frequency, because if you're in the right space doing very ordinary things, ordinary is absolutely the best way to be. Like, you know, in those moments of being ordinary, it's great. You know, even if it's just washing your knickers, but making it really good, doing a really good job of something really ordinary. When you're like that, I really feel like you pick up the energy of everything around you. Those trees, they are getting cosmic energy going right down and they're grounding it into the earth. It's like every blade of grass, it's like a pore on the skin of Mother Earth. You know, like we're all breathing it. And I think just feel it, just be ordinary and love it. I think that's my best output right now.
I don't know if Lauren's still around, but I just wanted to add, if Lauren's still here, that kind of applies to her here. She came into my awareness just now as you're talking about grounding and trees, and it's a feeling, because I happen to know that Lauren absolutely loves oak trees, and I feel really strongly that the oak tree is very grounding for you, Lauren. I know that anyway, but it's like, just imagine, just go into that space and go and talk to your oak tree, because I've spoken to trees and I've actually had responses. I've had my answers from trees, from everything, really. Everything is sentient, you know, even things you don't think are. But I know that Lauren is very, very in touch with nature, and a lot of the things that she needs to know, and to gain her confidence in her own voice, which is beautiful as she is, she will get the strength also from the oak tree. Yes, oak is my mother tree, she says. It is, my darling. And the oak is there to support you and give you strength. And of course I'm here too, you know, so, and Louisa is. So
yeah, I really want you to know, this is, I wanted to come back to you. I really want you to know that actually you kind of need to not listen to your mum when she's asking, what have you got to have trauma about? You know, to me, that's somebody who is possibly in a hurt space themselves, you know, hurt people without realizing it. And they can't see that other people might be in a healing space themselves. Also, people that are hurt and not healing, they kind of question why other people are healing because they can't understand it. So like the message here is to carry on your path, to know that you know, your commitment to healing yourself from old childhood trauma is really real. The fact that it's come up in the same kind of context, like tonight you were talking about, you've been trying to move home and there's been blockages, and you're also reminded of a childhood trauma. I would absolutely say to, if you're comfortable to do it, and maybe do it as a third party, like kind of look in on your life, but go back, revisit that trauma as safely as you can in your mind's eye. See, what is it about that trauma that is playing out right now in terms of your moving? Like, were you feeling helpless? Did you feel like it was a situation you couldn't control? Because the important thing to realize here is your experiences as a child, you didn't have the ability to really make changes, but you do now. And I think that's one of the learnings that's coming through, is you do have a voice now. You can use a voice. You have got your mother oak tree, which I think is great. I also would add, because it'd be really irresponsible not to, even doctor avoiders need doctors sometimes. We all do from time to time. So neither of us are medical experts. I think you should get it checked out if you think that there is something going on. But if you're doing everything that you can to heal yourself emotionally and spiritually, and also like breathing in the nature, I really do think that love, the energy of love and clarity and truth, is the most healing thing of all.
I agree.
But sometimes we need to heal physically. Like, we are 5D beings in a 3D world. We're spiritual beings in a body. You know, we can attend to the spiritual, but we also do need to attend to our physical bodies too. So I hope that's helpful. I just wanted to go back to Moaz was saying, Jackie, my fear is what will happen if I get muscle spasms in Portugal and I'm bedridden for days. Who will help me? Moaz, Carl and I are here. We're quite well connected. We're not connected to everybody, but there's a really good community here. I know English speaking energy healers, people who can do muscle testing, allergy, like hair testing. You know, we could, there is the kind of like, talk to us. We'll try and put you in touch with the right people so that you have that prepared for you for when you come over. We know people related in this area, so I don't know which area you're hoping to go to, but if we can help, what I would say is reach out in Carl's community on the Good Morning Portugal show. I'm pretty sure you'll be put in touch. We will do everything we can to help you. So hopefully that.
Oh, that's wonderful. Moaz, go for it. Because, you know, also muscle spasms can, I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes you go into spasm because of the fear. So it's like a vicious cycle. The spasm comes up as a response to your inner fear, and then the fear brings on the spasm, and you never get out of the cycle, you know. So sometimes we just got to kind of just go for it. I want to say, pick up your bags and walk, you know, pick up thy bags and walk. And who said that once? Or pick up thy whatever it was and walk. Throw away your sticks and walk. And you know, there's a very, very strong element of Jesus around, if I'm allowed to say that, and I am, because I will. And the Christ energy, the Jesus Yeshua energy is around Moaz, I feel very strongly. And he's saying at the moment, it's like, yes, stand up, walk to me, come here, come now. I'm waiting for you. Happiness, joy, sunshine, it's all there for you. What if they're not there, love? Go for it.
Absolutely perfect. I think we've come to the end of the show. We're getting lots of beautiful messages from people thanking us and thanking all the beautiful souls here. Thank you so much for witnessing everything, for being your open and beautiful selves, for shining your light bright. Thank you so much, Jay, for joining us today, and for just being you. Your commitment to being who you are is awesome. I love that. Have you got any final thoughts? If you're going to leave everybody with like a final thought today, what would
I tell you what, I could be here all day, all night. I love this. It's what I was born to do, and you were too. And I just absolutely love connecting with these people. And my final thing would just be to say, let's continue this, because I'm loving every minute, and hopefully everyone else will. And as it expands and grows and people get more confident, you know, we can have these chats that are quantum conversations, you know, and it does bring clarity. Even somebody else's opinion, but you know, just to say, all that you need to do really is to just realize that, you know, when you sit still for 1 second, 2 minutes, whatever, and just breathe into your lungs, just breathe and breathe out again, you know, you're connecting. That is your connection. And even if you can do that for a second a day and do it for 2 seconds the day after, and hopefully as well, maybe on this lovely thing that we're creating here, we can do a little meditation or something, you know, at the end of the sessions, which can be 5 minutes, but it can usually give you so much energy or good feeling that it you know, you don't need to go into it for hours, but just a meditation to finish off the session. Haven't got anything prepared at the moment, but you know, that would be lovely. So thank you to everybody that's shown up, and you know, brilliant. I'm finding my tribe all the time.
Beautiful. Right. Just before we go, I'd like you all, if you're comfortable to do it, just taking a beautiful deep breath. Feel that we've all connected tonight, and we've connected with grace. We've connected with the heart. We've connected with all of our lightest and brightest wishes. And I'd like you all to just thank yourself, thank everyone around you, and bring that level of peace in. And just hold on to it, because it's really the gift. We've all worked really hard today, and thank you so very much. Enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Stay connected. If we can help, just check us out. We're in the show notes underneath. You can contact us any way you like. But anyway, lots and lots of love to you wherever you are in the world, from all over: Hawaii, Texas, Missouri, Canada, Europe, Portugal, England. Wow.
Live
Awesome.
long and prosper, galactically and every other which way.
Bye for now.
Bye bye.